So a bill has been introduced which seeks to stop Biden and his administration from using national emergencies to implement gun control. So let's talk about this. But real quick before we jump into this video, if you think it's time for the federal government to stop infringing on your Second Amendment rights, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. Also, I want to thank one of the main supporters of the channel, and that is USCCA. Through your membership, you get training, education, and self-defense liability protection. So if you carry a firearm, I highly recommend you take a look into USCCA, and I'll put a link to them down in the details section. Also, I want to let you know that this content is now powered by Firearms Policy Coalition, so head on over to joinfpc.org to help support the Second Amendment cause. Once again, thank you FPC for supporting this channel. So like I said in the intro, in this video, we're going to be talking about a bill which has been introduced which seeks to actually restrict the ability of this administration or future administrations from infringing on your Second Amendment rights and using national emergencies and crises to actually implement backdoor gun control. Senator Mike Braun out of Indiana has introduced S. 1916, also known as the Right to Keep and Bear Arms Act of 2021. S. 1916 states the president or any designee thereof shall not, for the purpose of imposing gun control, declare an emergency pursuant to the National Emergencies Act or emergency or major disaster pursuant to the Robert T. Stafford Disaster Relief and Emergency Assistance Act. It also states that the Secretary of Health and Human Services shall not, for the purpose of imposing gun control, declare a public health emergency pursuant to Section 319 of the Public Health Services Act. So essentially, this bill seeks to restrict the ability of President Biden, his administration, or any subsequent presidents in their administration from using national emergencies as an excuse to implement backdoor gun control. S. 1916 would prohibit President Biden or any subsequent president or their designees from using a declaration of emergency to enact gun control measures in various forms. This would also prevent the Secretary of Health and Human Services from using executive authority to enact gun control measures during a national health crisis. What's important to keep in mind is the current Secretary of Health and Human Services is Xavier Becerra. Javier Becerra is a former Attorney General of the state of California and is a clear anti-gunner who is responsible for a majority of the 2A infringements California residents currently have to deal with. This health and human services restriction is really important, especially in today's context, since this whole issue about alleged gun violence has been reframed as a public health crisis, and you hear a lot of individuals on the left, including Javier Becerra, when he was the Attorney General of California and now as the head of the Health and Human Services, trying to reframe this whole gun control issue as a public health issue. I don't know about you, but the last thing I want is Javier Becerra to be able to implement more gun control using a claimed public health crisis that he gets to bring. Now, one important thing to note is that Senator Braun actually recently sought a unanimous consent from the Senate to pass his bill. This is a mechanism in the Senate where a bill can be passed without a full vote from the Senate. However, all it takes is for one other senator to object, and then essentially this call is dead, which Senator Dick Durbin out of Illinois did do and objected to this call for unanimous consent. In his objection, Senator Durbin stated that there may be a legitimate reason that the government may want to restrict firearms sales during a national disaster. He actually used the example of the internet being down and then felons using that opportunity to try and go purchase firearms without a background check. However, this is a really odd example in the context that he was trying to frame it in, because if the US is facing a catastrophic nationwide internet outage, I think, and I'm sure a lot of you guys think, we have more things to be concerned about. In that type of a scenario, criminals will not be standing in line trying to purchase a firearm without a background check. They will likely just be performing criminal activity and looting the stores outright. They're not going to be standing in line saying, well, the background check is down, I'm going to try to get a gun right now. That's not the situation that this would really apply to. Also, catastrophic national emergencies is the exact type of scenario when people need access to firearms the most, not only to protect themselves, but their families as well from criminal activity. If the COVID-19 situation has taught people nothing else, it is that it's very important when everything turns upside down, the only person you can rely on for protection is yourself. And that is why we saw a dramatic rise in firearms sales during this whole pandemic issue. A lot of people were going to gun stores purchasing firearms because they understood if everything goes pretty much upside down, they are the only ones they can rely on. They have to protect themselves, their families, and the best way to do that is to have a firearm. But what we saw during a lot of these crises, and which we could see in the future, is during situations like this, gun stores are ultimately forced to be closed. They can't sell to individuals. So this bill would actually restrict and prevent individuals, the president, other individuals as well in the administration from implementing various gun control measures shutting down gun stores, or doing other things as well, and restricting people's access to firearms when they need them the most. Politicians should not be able to use an emergency as an opportunity to implement their anti-gun agenda, especially during times the Second Amendment rights are most needed. So that's why it's really important to get behind this bill, support this bill, contact your local representatives, and let them know that you support what this bill is attempting to do. Also, one really important thing I want to know before I end this video is that it's important that you guys go ahead and comment on the ATF's proposed rules on frames and receivers and pistol braces. The frames and receivers comment period is actually ending here really soon, August 19th, so you're running out of time to go make your voices heard and to drop a comment on that proposed rule. And then after that, the pistol braces proposed rule comment period will end soon as well, so go drop a comment on both of those. So I just wanted to put this proposed bill on your guys' radar because it is actually trying to do something pro Second Amendment and restrict government overreach during times of national emergency, health crises, etc. when the Second Amendment and your right to keep and bear arms is most needed. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and comment down below and I'll try to answer the best of my ability. Also, if you guys like this video and like to support the channel, one of the best ways to do that is to like, comment, and subscribe. All those things help to fuel the algorithm. It helps to signal to YouTube that you guys see value in this video, in this type of 2A news, and then it pushes it to more people. Thank you everybody who's been liking, commenting, and subscribing. I know I keep saying that on the videos, but you guys really are having a huge impact on my videos, on the reach of these videos. It is reaching more people. We are spreading the news about the Second Amendment, and we're getting more people engaged in 2A advocacy. So thank you so much for doing that. If you guys have any questions, drop them down below. And also, if you just want to drop a comment that you're commenting to fuel the algorithm or fuel Al Gore's rhythm, I really appreciate that. It needs some fuel. He needs some fuel for his jet. So go ahead and comment down below. So as always, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And never forget, this nation was built by armed scholars, and this nation will be maintained by armed scholars.